Learners, welcome back to the channel. As promised to you today that I'll be posting a video on how to score well in class 10th. Not well, but 95+% in class 10th. So I am here with the video, and my motive of posting this video so late at the end of the year is because it is the time in which the students have done their studying, they have researched everything, and it is the time for their revision, for little new things to study, and it's a pre-board time. So it's the last phase of the battle that you have to face. So in this video, I'm not going to tell you any tactics, any shortcuts, but the right way to do the things before your exams. So get ready for the most incredible thing that you are going to learn. As I've scored 95.8% in my class 10th, I'm confident that you'll get the idea what I'm going to say in the video. This video will mainly target the students of ICSE because I'm also an ICSE student. I've done my 10th in ICSE school. So let's start. For ICSE students, there are 10 subjects which comprises of English, literature, language, SST in 2 parts, science in 3 parts, maths, computer, Hindi. So for each and every subject, I'm going to tell you some key points which you have to follow in your exams. For English language is considered very difficult and less scoring subject. It's not like that. English language is difficult but also a good scoring subject. English language contains of essay, which is comprehension, second letter, third unseen passage, and notice and email. These 5 topics are the most scoring one. So the key to score in the essay is you can just prepare 15 to 20 vocabulary words which are strong, which can be used in a place of common words, which can replace the common words, and being good words, they can make your essay more appealing and more elaborative. Like for example, if there is an sentence which is there are a lot of people who like to play cricket, that it is an tutorial like there's a lot of people who like to play cricket. So instead of using lot of, you can use myriad of people like to play cricket. Other example is that this thing is wrong, so you can use erroneous in the place of wrong. So there are some words which are easy to learn also, and you can use it in a place of your essay. The second thing is English literature. English literature is also vast. It comprises of 10 poems, 10 stories, which is from the treasure trove, and Merchant of Venice is a very big collection in its own self. So for that, I'll just recommend you that you just go through all the poems and the stories, and if there is any reduction in your syllabus, I don't know it right now, so according to that reduction, you have to prepare good chapters like which was the Blue Bead and the Horse and Two Goats. These 2 chapters are big, strong, and more scoring, and these chapters usually come in exams also. Second thing, for Merchant of Venice, just read those meanings which are given on the right side of your book. Just read them, don't learn them, and please, if you can learn them, please do it. It's better for you only. And the references which is given at the last scenes are most important to be done. The second thing would be SST, social studies, which comprises of geography, history, and civics. For geography, right now I'm having the books. So for geography, I can see the part 1 is map work, which is topography. Topography will come of 20 marks, as well as the map marking would be of 10 marks. So 30 marks are fixed, which is the most scoring part, which is most easiest part, and it requires a very less practice also. So for maps, there are rivers, there are terrains, deserts of India only, so you can learn them. It's not a big deal, and the points wouldn't be much difficult to learn also, as the map of the ICSE paper comes in a way that the rivers are marked on it. So you don't have to learn the exact places of the river. You have to just see that what the rivers are, where they are, and where the lines are. Now for the questions part, the long question answers, there are I think 5 to 6 units over here, you can just uh, discard any one of the unit. You can do it very firmly. Don't get risked out. Don't think that if I'll not be doing all the chapters, it would cause me a greater bad. It's not like this. Out of 6 or out of 5, you can just prepare the scoring and the easier units. You can do this. It's not a risky thing. You can just gamble it by using that. This was the geography syllabus. For the history syllabus, which is the second part of the SST. See, history is the modern history of India as well as of the world, which is given in our book. This is the book. So total history, and this book comprises of first to 9 chapters, which is the pure ancient, sorry, not the ancient, the modern history of India. Read it in a form of a story. If you read it in a form of story, you can just understand it well, and the learning would be much easier. See, the difficult chapters from my perspective is third and fourth, in which you have to learn the activists, the people who are responsible for the greater good of India. These 2 chapters were the most difficult ones to learn from me. The 6th, the Mahatma Gandhi and the Gandhian movement. This chapter is big, though many things were reduced in this chapter when I was in class 10th, but also it caused much trouble for me to learn. Rest of the chapters are like story. The contemporary world, the modern history, is the thing which is also kind of story, but you don't have to learn much things from these also. Just follow the reduced syllabus if anything is reduced, or else read all the chapters, all the 15 chapters of the history. These are wonderful. Just read it in a form of story, and you will get a very good marks. Though it's not a time to read them all, but just giving it a revision would be much better. For civics, you can just learn. See, learning all the chapters, it's good, but you can just skip 1 or 2 things in the civics, like the president and the prime minister chapters are actually very easy. There are some things which you have to learn, and that learning part is also not much diverse. You have to just learn some things, some important articles, and you can just score well in civics. So civics and history, this is a combined exam, so you can easily score 95 plus in geography and in history. For English, just do as I say. For English language and English literature, just read all the stories and poems. Second subject would be, after this would be computer. See, computer you can study by your own self, but for good programs, for good variety of programs, you may take any tuitions, as I have taken tuitions for computer and English language. So I was completely bound to these tuitions because it was a course of around 3 to 4 months. So in that duration, you will get a slight idea how to study computer and English. The teachers will make you tension free about these things, so you don't have to take much like tension for these subjects. For computer, do not forget to make the VDT, the variable description table, as well as write the programs and the commas, everything, as it is a case sensitive language. Do Java in a most efficient way. The second thing is, after this is maths. Maths is important. It's a full practice oriented subject, and for class 10th, practice is the most important thing which I can tell you. For maths, paper would be much easier than you'll think. Maths paper would come very, very, very easy. It will come. Second thing after this is science. Biology is very easy to score. Very easy to score. There are some chapters which are smaller, some chapters which are bigger, but if you will just study the bigger chapters, if you just revise the bigger chapters 5 to 6 times till your exam, you can score very well in your biology. For physics, physics is a thing to think about, because physics contains of very amazing chapters, very interesting chapters. And for the students who are at the last phase, if you'll do these 6 chapters which I'm going to tell you, you will just score very, very well. the chances of silly mistakes would also be reduced to zero if you do these six subjects, these six chapters, which is three chapters of optics. I think fourth, fifth, and sixth chapters are the chapters of optics, and the electromagnetism, electrics and magnetism. These two chapters and the chapters of the optics, you have to do it very thoroughly and very in a very efficient way, because what optics contains, the fourth chapter of the optics contains many things, many theorems, many derivations. The critical angle part and the thing after that is very important and very understandable. When I gave my exams of my first semester, there were many difficult questions which come from optical physics, but the difficulty was changed into easiness when I just studied it many times. I remember that I studied it around 15 to 20 times before my exam, and it is not a big deal to do this. It's not a big deal even if you go to the school also. Okay? And it's a time that you just take some leave from your school and study well. Uh, in ICSE schools, there's a good time given for the preparation of the exams, so you can just do it in the remaining time. For chemistry, I'll say chemistry is also easy. The last four chapters, which is dedicated to the compounds like H2SO4, HCl, there are four chapters, I can just recall it. So those four chapters are the most scoring, and many of the chemical properties corresponds each other. The second chapter, which is most important, is the organic chemistry, the IUPAC naming, and after that electrolysis, the chapter which comprises of the ions and the electrons. That chapter, which is chapter 6, is very important for you to do. Just read it, give it a good read, just understand the diagrams, do all the diagrams, and you'll score very well. For Hindi, see, my Hindi paper was the worst, I can say, but though I scored 93 in my Hindi, the biggest advice I'll give you is to revise the Vilom and Paryayavachi shabd, because Vilom, Paryayavachi aren't the words which are जो बहुत डेप्थ से आते हैं. These are not the words जो आपको मुश्किल होंगे. जो आपके रेगुलर लैंग्वेज में यूज़ होते हैं वही आपके आएंगे, विलोम और पर्यायवाची. तो आपको उसकी टेंशन नहीं लेनी है. एसेज के लिए भी यू कैन प्रिपेयर सम डिफ़िकल्ट वर्ड्स, लेकिन मेरा रिकमेंडेशन ये रहेगा, हिंदी को आप सिंपल रखें, प्लेन रखें, लेटर्स को आप प्लेन रखें हिंदी के. एंड क्वेश्चन आंसर्स, विच इज साहित्य सागर, इट इज़ अ वेरी ईजी बुक, वेरी बुक, इट इज़ अ बुक विच कंटेन्स अ वेरी गुड स्टोरीज. सो आपको इंग्लिश लिटरेचर और हिंदी एक ही तरीके से पढ़नी है. लिटरेचर पार्ट इन अ फॉर्म ऑफ स्टोरी, यू आर इन टेकिंग अ स्टोरी, आपको उस हिसाब से पढ़नी है इंग्लिश एंड हिंदी. नाउ दिस वॉज द होल सिलेबस कंपैरिजन, and the most golden tips which I'm going to give you for the class 10 students is, when you go to your center, it's home boards only, school boards in which you don't go to any other school, you give your boards in your own school only, that's the ICSE pattern. तो आपको आपके फ्रेंड्स मिलेंगे, आपको अपनी बुक स्कूल में पहुंचने के बाद बंद कर देनी है. डोंट डेयर टू ओपन योर बुक्स और कॉपीज और योर नोटबुक. बंद करना है, लाइन में खड़े होना है, एंड यू हैव टू गॉसिप अ लॉट. गॉसिप लाइक इट्स नॉट टुमारो, कल है ही नहीं, इतनी बात करो अपने दोस्तों से. और एग्जाम से पहले, व्हेन यू आर सिटिंग ऑन योर हॉल, इन योर हॉल, एंड देर आर आई थिंक 30 minutes, दे विल नॉट गिव यू पेपर, यू सिट वेरी लाइक विदाउट डूइंग एनीथिंग. आपको उस समय एग्जाम के बारे में बिल्कुल नहीं सोचना, आपने क्या करा है क्या नहीं करा है. द थिंग विच हैड टू डन is been done, you cannot do anything of it. और दूसरी चीज, you are going to give the most easiest exams which you've ever given. सबसे आसान एग्जाम आप देने जा रहे हैं अपनी जिंदगी का, because it doesn't contain any competition. आपको अपनी रैंक डिफाइन होगी, लेकिन आप स्कोर अपने लिए कर रहे हैं. अंडरस्टैंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू से. आपको टेंशन बिल्कुल नहीं लेनी है, सबसे इजी चीज़ आप करने जा रहे हो. बट द की पॉइंट टू डू इज टू स्टडी. आपको सिर्फ पढ़ाई करनी है. इट इज़ द टाइम, लास्ट 2 to 3 months, जिसमें अगर आपने बहुत कम भी पढ़ा है ना, आप अभी 90% स्कोर कर सकते हैं, बहुत आराम से, बहुत आराम से. क्योंकि अब क्या है, अब आपको बस एक ही स्ट्रेटेजी फॉलो करनी है कि सोने से पहले पढ़ो और जगने के बाद पढ़ो. आपको सिर्फ पढ़ाई करनी है, अब आपके पास कोई और चीज़ करने को है नहीं. If you want a good marks in class 10th, you have to do this. And I consider this fact that 10th की मार्कशीट कहीं काम नहीं आती, मत आन दो. But when you will be in class 11, 12 or any phase of your life also, जब आप डाउन होंगे, जब आप लो होंगे, और जब आप अपनी 10th की मार्कशीट याद करेंगे and you will be scoring 95%, 90+% your desired percent, तो आपको बहुत अच्छा फील होगा. आपको अपने पेरेंट्स की शक्ल पे वो खुशी, वो एप्रिसिएशन फ्रॉम अदर पीपल्स आपको ध्यान रहेगी, आपको अच्छा लगेगा वो सोच सोच के. सो स्कोर इन क्लास 10th नॉट टू show the world but to self motivate your own self. So this was the video for the students in class 10th. Now the people who are in class 10th can skip the video. Now the greatest deal is for the students in class 9th. See students, see my friends, I am not much elder to you, you are like my brothers and sisters. So भाइयों बहनों, for class 10th आपको शुरुआत से consistent रहना पड़ेगा. The greatest deal is to be consistent. और आपके जो भी एक्सटर्नल कोचिंग्स होती हैं, विच इज़ लाइक आई हैव टेकन कंप्यूटर्स एंड इंग्लिश कोचिंग, आपको भी कुछ ऐसी कोचिंग शुरुआत में ही लगा लेनी होंगी. उससे होगा क्या कि आपको ज़्यादा टाइम मिलेगा एंड में रिवाइज करने का. एंड में जितना कम आप कोचिंग जाएं और खुद की सेल्फ स्टडी ज़्यादा करें, उतना ही आप फ़ायदे में रहेंगे, चाहे वो कोई भी क्लास हो. क्लास 10th इज़ नॉट अ जोक, बट बोर्ड्स are a kind of joke if you just study it very thoroughly, in a very efficient way. See, smart work is that thing which comes after the hard work. If you have done a good amount of hard work, then you can just imply and change it into a smart work and do the rest of the things. लेकिन अगर आपने हार्ड वर्क ही नहीं करा है, अगर आपने वर्क ही नहीं करा है, तो आप स्मार्ट वर्क कहाँ से करेंगे? सो डू नॉट कोरेस्पॉन्ड हार्ड वर्क विद स्मार्ट वर्क. आपको या तो आप एक समय पे सिर्फ हार्ड वर्क या फिर सिर्फ स्मार्ट वर्क ही कर सकते हैं. दैट्स माई वे ऑफ थिंकिंग. सो फॉर द स्टूडेंट इन क्लास 9th, बी रेडी फॉर द बैटल which you can win very easily if you'll stay with me. So stay tuned and please like and subscribe the channel for more content like this. Thank you and all the best for your boards, and all the best to the students who will be promoted to class 10th. I'll be with you till your very end of your paper and I'll be supporting you. So be ready and be powerful, stay strong, and it's a time to study the most hard and in a way of elegance. So let's do it. Thank you, friends.